Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Johncast podcast. Today we're going to be doing manga reaction to My Hero Academia 369. We are 69. We are going to be breaking it down, taking a look, just going over what I already read. Before we get into it, give me a like, a subscribe on this video, follow the channel, comment down below. You can follow me on my social media pages as seen below, Ch.369 on Twitter and Instagram. And I think that covers everything. You can go listen to the podcast as well. Going to be dropping on a video soon with another podcaster, friend of mine. So that should be an interesting one. But yeah, so we start off this chapter with going back to the time of the second user. I assume this will be when he died, and this is all for one, pretty much going over his quirk. And as you see, you kind of see the bottom, the bullet coming down, and we have all for one basically, kind of mocking him in a way, saying that his quirk is pretty much useless because it only works on small objects, at least at that time. So he was saying it was laughable. One thing I wanna go over that I don't really think people have mentioned, at least reading stuff, I don't think people have mentioned. Is all for one crying here? Is that what's going on here? Is there something else going on with his eyes that I'm missing that I don't know about One for All? But it kind of looks like he's crying in the panel. And I'm kind of interested in that. Maybe there's something I missed. Comment down below. I'm interested to know that. But we continue. After that, we continue on the ass whipping, basically, and we get the quirk name at the bottom of the screen, Gear Shift, and Deku just kind of still going to town on Shigaraki, and we are getting an explanation on how Gear Shift has grown from when All for One first saw it. He like I said, he mocked it in the beginning of how it was only meant for small objects and we could use it on, but we are emphasizing how with One for All growing, the quirk growing, the quirks within One for All also grew in power. So that's why quirks like Black Whip, quirks like Fajin, I can't really say Flight, but Danger Sense, all those quirks are exponentially stronger than they were back when the original users used them. And even if we go back to previous chapters, when we go all the way back to when I believe that would be the sixth user, no, not the sixth, the fifth. I believe that would have been the fifth user. He is the one who uses Black Whip. When he first appeared to Deku, he also explained that, those other quirks are stronger than what they are now. So he had to take the time to learn them. But, when seeing these panels, I can't wait to see what, this looks like in animation form. Because I expect like a whole bunch of fast going on, basically. But we get Deku basically doing a quintuple Detroit smash, 5 Detroit smashes at one time. I believe that would have been as how fast he hit All for One, and you can just see the damage being done to surroundings, him planting into the ground. And yeah, so now we get to All for One basically thinking, he if he keeps going. I'm skipping ahead, but sorry. We get All for One basically thinking that he's able to counterattack, right? And when Deku gets some insight here, gets some coaching on how to use it, he's saying that, hey, you can adjust your speed, but it doesn't have, it says inertia here, but we're going to say it doesn't apply to the laws of physics. So momentum, stuff like that, he doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about whiplash, all that stuff. When he's shifting gears, he shifted low gear, so he was moving really fast. So All for One was going with the thought process of I'll be able to counterattack if I can just predict. But Deku changed his speed, which threw All for One off, and we see him swing right in this panel. He swings and misses, but it's because Deku slowed himself down. So because the laws of physics don't apply, he's able to slow down, speed up, and now he's using his quirks in combination. And I love, when quirk combination is happening with Deku using a whole bunch of different quirks at one time. So in this case, he's using black whip, float, smoke screen, and I believe he's also using five Gene's ability too, using almost all of them. And this panel right here, I really love because you see all the users in One for All. Almost, yeah, all of them. I was going to almost say except for one All Might, but he's in there too. But in this panel, it's just like I said this a few chapters ago. I feel like in this specific instance, this fight, the artwork has taken a kind of a step up in a way, and I feel like there's spots where you can see a lot more love is happening, and it's just amazing. But yeah, we get that panel, and we also we're gonna skip ahead a little bit, but Deku is basically saying, he's gonna stop him. He's not gonna let him do this, but he hits him with, I'm assuming another Detroit Smash at this point, and you see all the flesh that was surrounding the body of All For One Shigaraki, and everything just pretty much blowing apart, right? And then we get him back to kind of what would be his normal body, but he has a hole in his chest. But in this moment, All For One is kind of coming to the terms with saying that, hey, I don't think I'll be able to beat him. Like, he's coming to terms with, there's no way that I can do this. But he is also saying now, how is it fair that I haven't been able to use all my quirks though? This whole time I've been having my quirks blocked, so you don't even know what the true value of this body is. And now he's saying that, what, I still have a trump card up my sleeve, right? And this is interesting to me because in this panel, it's like, it's specifically 7 lights, I believe, in the panel, and there's 7 users in One For All. And sorry, it's not 7. I'm bugging. I keep saying 7, but there's 9 users in One For All because there's seven quirks. But there's 9 users in One For All, and there are 9 lights here, and it's I don't know if those lights specifically mean anything or what, if they're going to do something, but basically All For One is, we go here back to Spinner, and it's interesting that we go back to Spinner because it's just I wonder what Spinner is going to do, because with all the characters that's still on the battlefield, there's so many other things that can happen, and we come back to Spinner of all people. So we can go back to All For One's main body. He could be the person who he thought of in this moment. We still have Dabi at play. We still have Toga out there in the world at play. But to come back to Spinner is like, unexpected. But Spinner, last we saw, I believe he's leading the army of kind of quirk users who have physical, but the monsters, I guess, is the best way you could say it. But it's interesting, like what is Spinner gonna do, right? Hopefully we'll come back to this in the next chapter. Hopefully this will just keep chugging along. But like I said, there's specifically 9 lights here, and I'm just curious to what those 9 lights are, because I don't really think it'll be nine people within him. Like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, I'm trying to also like throw in my mind, maybe somehow, some way he'll have nine abilities that are able to overcome being erased, something like that, somehow, some way. But I assume that at least Spinner, his role, whatever it may be, will be probably trying to take Aizawa off the board so he can activate his quirks. But it's like, I don't know, man. I'm just really interested in this whole panel right here. But aside from that as well, we also have, it looks like his body's hulking out, so it's getting bigger again. And as he said before, his body is going to keep adjusting until it's in a suitable state for the situation he's in. But also, if I go back a little bit, because I don't think I mentioned it, we are talking about Deku in the other in the other panels, there is a point where he is telling him, don't pass out, right? And we do kind of see that a little bit of in his eye state a little bit, that hey, you need to get your stuff together. We need to finish this, so don't pass out from pretty much all of what he's. I'm pretty sure Deku was pushing his body through a lot to use all these quirks at one time, especially in the manner that he's using them. So right now at this moment, Deku is the quirk god, and it's also interesting that when we shift back, we do see Bakugo on the ground. We also still see at least Miracle looks like she's still alive. I mean, it's hard to say. She's leaning up against the wall, and you have I never remember his name in the big three, but you have him passed out. It looks like passed out on the ground. So I kind of wonder if he may be deceased as well. But you got Bakugo and Best Genius right there. So it feels like we're going to be working towards something. Like if Spinner makes it to the field, I assume that all these characters that's also here with Deku is probably going to be important. But I kind of feel like I do want to believe that everybody, maybe all the battlefields are going to come to one. Maybe because this is the fortress in the sky, and maybe this fortress is going to crash into the ground and allow everybody else to help even the playing field for All For One or All For One Shigaraki, however that may be. So, I don't really think I have much else to say about this chapter. I enjoyed this chapter. Like I said, I'm just kind of really appreciating the artwork at this point in time. I feel like I said, there's a little bit of extra love in a lot of the panels as we keep chugging along through these moments in it. And I also can't wait to see what this looks like when animation comes out. Because even Deku just zipping around, and this quintuple Detroit smash looks like it's gonna be epic when it does happen. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hey, any comments, any thoughts, leave them down below. And yeah, I'll definitely be taking part in those comments. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.